Please stand by for further details. We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
Hello to those of you who are feeling called to this reading in particular. Welcome to your mystery reading. The first thing that we're going to do is shuffle out one index card from this deck of index cards that I got from an even bigger deck of index cards. If you want to be a part of the community that I'm trying to create, subscribe and hit that notification bell. And if you're interested, you can also find me on TikTok. The link to that will be in the description. And before I get you this index card, remember that this is a general reading that could be meant for more than one person. So if you're struggling to find meaning in a message, that's okay. Just let it go, because it might just be meant for someone else. And if it truly was meant for you, the universe and your spirit guides will make that obvious to you, either sometime during this reading or sometime during your journey. I just saw 111, so I definitely feel like your intuition and your inner voice are very significant for this reading. I also saw 122 and then 123. Change starts with you, and trust that everything happens for a reason. I'm already feeling something here about your purpose being related to using your intuition or really being in touch with your inner voice. Maybe inner dialogue. I don't know, but we have, I'm wearing a mask. The color purple could also be significant for someone. Maybe amethyst could be significant. It's really interesting that the words are purple, because for me that number or that color always represents like mystery, your intuition, just very mysterious things. I'm really coming through, or feeling something coming through for someone about amethyst. There could also be a particular spirit guide or spirit guides that are trying to come through in this reading. So I'm wearing a mask. Someone here isn't being honest about how they show up in the world. One second, I'm about to sneeze. So with me sneezing, there's something here about you being blessed. Like maybe there's something significant here about recognizing what you truly do have, or how much potential and opportunity that you truly do have, especially when it comes to being understood, accepted, and loved unconditionally. There's really something here that you need to be honest with yourself about, so you can be honest with those around you. I think being able to see why others deserve to see you clearly. I don't know, there's something here about yourself that you're not seeing that other people see. And I feel like it's like your potential. Like you're a lot more capable than you give yourself credit for. And I also feel like you might have a lot more love and support than it seems like. Maybe fear could be standing in your way here of not wearing a mask and just being who you truly are. Like I'm feeling something here, just be like being who you are, like in a raw way. That's the best way I can explain it. Like just, I feel like truth and clarity and illumination, light, the sun, those things are very significant. Next, I'm going to get a deck big enough to shuffle from this box of cards that I have. I just saw 4, 5, 6. Trust that everything happens for a reason from this deck, I'm going to just get a couple of cards to look deeper into this. Really curious to see what comes through. I also just felt a message here. It came through in Italian, molto curiosa, so there could be a woman watching this that is very curious about something. And it doesn't have to be you, it could be someone in your life. But we have a little. I'm going to get another card to clarify this. Void. And on the other side of it, don't fall into temptation, always choose your highest good, knowing that patience is better than instant gratification. 777 333, and I literally said the sun was significant, and it's right here in the corner, kind of peeking through. So I'm going to keep it on this side, because there's a lot more going on this side, but I'll keep in mind that the other side said void. I feel like you're feeding into a void within yourself through instant gratification. Self-control and self-discipline are definitely coming up as important things to be investing in. 777 says, like, especially your mental health and your healing, your growth as a person and as a spiritual being. 333 is really calling for you to express yourself, but it's not like you have to, pour your heart out to the next person you see. The universe and your spirit guides really want you to do things in your own time. This a little card is pretty much just telling me that you need to be more committed to your highest good and learning how to be more patient. And like when you're really wanting something, really wanting to give in to that instant gratification, I think that's like a really important time for you to slow down, put the brakes on it and ask yourself, is this truly what you want or what you want to invest in? Does this really align with what I'm working toward? So there needs to be some sort of balance here between treating yourself. Well, basically what I'm saying is moderation is key. That feels like it's really coming through strongly. More specifically, if you have a pet where you don't really you like to give it table food, there's something here about moderation, or maybe giving it, moderating the treats that you give it or something. That's just a quick message there for anyone who has a pet and needed to hear that. And I literally saw 1, 2, 3. So that happened for a reason. Let me go ahead and get the next card. I have, what am I afraid of? What's holding me back? That really makes a lot of sense. I feel like what you need to start with is, one second. I think you need to start with being able to, stop before you give into that instant gratification, to question, to have that conversation with yourself. Also, having boundaries with yourself is important. I just saw 2, 2, 2. Yeah, the relationship with yourself is the relationship that you need to be focused on the most, which also means you need to be focused on your relationship with the universe, your spirit guides, your faith, and those things. I feel like connecting with the light more could really, really help you in some way. And honestly, that makes a lot of sense with void coming through on the other side of this card. Actually, I almost feel like because it's on the other side and it's hidden, it's like you might not realize how you truly feel. Like you might not realize the weight that you're actually carrying mentally and emotionally just because you've been doing it for so long and you're just used to it at this point. But there's some digging here that you need to do, and that makes sense with your intuition being important. I also just felt that your third eye could be important or significant as well. I feel like your fears are really trying to take from you, and you need to change your relationship with anxiety, with your fears. Sometimes overcoming your fear is having courage. Because, you know, there's just some things where it's okay to be afraid. I feel like feeling nervous makes you uncomfortable, and you need to learn to get more comfortable with feeling uncomfortable, get more comfortable with embracing with all of what life is instead of just half of it with the easy, you know, stuff and like the light in life. I'm going to wrap up this reading by getting one rune from this baggie of them that I made. Okay, so we have the letter H with Hagalus, I think that's how you say it. We got hail, limitations, delays, forces outside of your control, and disruption. I'm going to get another drink of water. That could be a sign for someone watching this to hydrate or to make sure you're drinking enough water. But the first thing that I want to talk about with this rune is hail. When I first saw that, I was instantly reminded of how, like, before or during a tornado, there is hail. I feel like that's a message coming through that there is always a warning before danger. So I don't know how that could be significant for someone. Take that however it resonates. But there's also something symbolic here about a tornado. You could be, you know, like taking off the mask might create more destruction in your life, but some destruction is worth it. Like, sometimes that's the only way that we can make change, by cutting ties with things that we just can't accept. So definitely don't accept less than you deserve. If you feel limited or delayed in trying to get to where you want to be in life or spiritually, be more accepting of that and trust that everything happens for a reason and that everything happens exactly in the way that it's meant to. And trust that in the future, you'll understand why things had to happen the way that they did. I do feel a lot of frustration here. Even though this reading is about, you know, take off the mask, also take your time. I mean, make sure you're going at a pace that's right for you, not too fast, but not too slow. Don't be too judgmental of the progress that you're making, because as long as you're doing your best, you're doing enough. So I also think it's interesting because it says in this, it says always choose your highest good, knowing that patience is better than instant gratification. So there's definitely something here that you're feeling impatient or frustrated about, and I feel like it's time. So trust that all you can, at least based on what I know, all you can really do is trust that it's happening for a reason, and that, you know, in hindsight, you'll understand why. Don't worry, the universe is not going to leave you hanging with questions. If you're seeking closure, you will find closure, and the universe and your spirit guides will help you with that. So definitely don't be afraid to communicate with them. But also, that message coming through again to do things when you're ready. Don't rush. But that will be the end of your reading. I hope that it was helpful or relevant in some way. If you'd like to hit the like button to show me that, that is the best way to support me. And if you'd like to offer even more support, you can donate through the thanks button directly below the video. Absolutely not obligated, but always very much appreciated. Feel free to leave a comment down below if you have any. I'd really, really love to connect with you more. Also, thank you so much to those of you who have shown your support thus far. It really means a lot to me, and it really does make a difference. And the last thing that I want to say is thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you around.